pop song from African folktale and tutorial channel CEFDOMAI. Yo, listen up, gather round. I got a tale to tell, a story profound. From Africa's roots where the wisdom's found, CEFDOMAI's the channel that's turning it around. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and turn on the notification bell. Show some love. CEFDOMAI's got the knowledge from above. Folk tales and tutorials to elevate your mind. Subscribe, like, share, comment, turn on the notification bell, and let the wisdom shine. From general folk tales to StoryTime, we're sharing the story.
Amira thought she had found the love of her life in Andrew. Handsome, charming, and successful, he had swept her off her feet in a whirlwind romance. The wedding was grand, a fairy tale brought to life, and everyone envied her. But behind closed doors, the fairy tale quickly crumbled. The first slap came on their honeymoon, over something as simple as a missed phone call. She laughed it off, convincing herself it was just a mistake. After all, wasn't love supposed to endure all things? At first, Andrew was apologetic. He showered Amira with gifts and kisses, swearing it would never happen again. And she believed him until the next time. This time, it was worse. The insults cut deeper than the slap, and the bruises lasted longer than the apologies. "You made me do this," he would say, and she started believing it. Maybe if she cooked better, spoke less, and obeyed more, things would be different. Maybe if she loved him enough, he would change. Slowly, Andrew tightened his grip. He monitored her calls, dictated what she wore, and even convinced her to quit her job. "You don't need to work. I provide everything you need," he whispered sweetly. At first, it felt like love. Then, it felt like a cage. The walls of their beautiful house became prison bars, and her once vibrant world shrank until only Andrew remained. Her friends stopped calling. Her family visits became rare, and when they did, Amira forced a smile, hiding the bruises under layers of makeup. "I'm fine," she would say, even as her eyes screamed for help. At night, she lay in bed beside the man who claimed to love her, wondering when love had become pain. She prayed for a miracle, for something, anything to change. One evening, after another violent outburst, Amira stared at her reflection in the mirror. A swollen cheek, a busted lip, and a heart that could no longer pretend. "If you were the one in his shoes, what would you do?" she whispered to herself. But the woman in the mirror had no answer. Amira knew she had to leave, but fear gripped her. Where would she go? What if Andrew found her? What if leaving was worse than staying? Then, she felt something, a tiny flutter in her stomach. She gasped, a baby. She was carrying a life inside her. At that moment, she knew she had to escape. Not just for herself, but for the innocent soul growing within her. Amira's attempt to leave ended before it began. Andrew confiscated her phone, cancelled her social media accounts, and even installed security cameras inside the house. She was now a prisoner in her own home, isolated from the world. Whenever she tried to resist, he'd grip her chin and whisper, "You're mine, Amira, forever." Days blurred into weeks, and Amira lost track of time. She found herself nodding at his every word, laughing when he laughed, and agreeing with everything he said. It was safer that way. But deep inside, the real her was screaming, clawing, begging for freedom. To convince everyone that all was well, Andrew booked an expensive vacation to Dubai. "A fresh start," he said with a smile. He paraded Amira like a trophy, holding her close, buying her expensive clothes, taking endless pictures. Their Instagram was flooded with posts of couple goals, but behind closed doors, nothing had changed. One evening, she accidentally spilled wine on his suit. His grip tightened on her arm, nails digging into her skin as he whispered through clenched teeth, "Smile for the camera." And she did, because that was the only way to survive. Stephanie hadn't heard from Amira in weeks, but when she saw the vacation pictures, she knew something was off. Amira's eyes lacked their usual spark. Her smile was too forced. Something was terribly wrong. Stephanie reached out through a fake account, sending a simple message, "Blink twice if you need help." Amira stared at the message, her fingers trembling over the keyboard. She wanted to reply, to scream, but Andrew was always watching. Amira's world shifted when she discovered she was pregnant. A part of her hoped this would change things. That Andrew would soften, become the loving man he once was. She imagined him cradling their child, whispering sweet lullabies, being a better man. But Andrew's reaction was far from what she expected. "You're trying to trap me with a child," he hissed, throwing a glass across the room. The shards mirrored her shattered dreams. Andrew's anger didn't subside. If anything, it grew worse. The verbal insults became relentless, his hands even rougher. Amira tried to protect her stomach, but the pain of his blows went deeper than her body. It crushed her spirit. One night, after another brutal beating, she lay on the cold floor, holding her belly. "Please, my baby, hold on," she whispered, tears mixing with the blood on her lips. The next morning, Amira collapsed in the bathroom. Andrew found her unconscious and rushed her to the hospital, where the doctor confirmed her worst fear: she had lost the baby. As she lay in the hospital bed, numb and empty, Andrew held her hand, faking concern. But when no one was looking, he leaned in and whispered, "This is your fault." Amira turned away, the last piece of love she had for him crumbling into dust. The miscarriage was a wake-up call. Amira realized that if she didn't leave soon, she wouldn't survive. She began planning in secret, saving small amounts of money, hiding important documents. One evening, while Andrew was out, she found an old phone hidden in a drawer. With shaking hands, she dialed Stephanie's number. "I need to leave, now." Stephanie arrived with a cab in the dead of night. Amira grabbed her bag and ran. Her heart pounded as she reached the door, freedom just inches away. But just as she stepped outside, headlights flooded the driveway. Andrew had returned early. Their eyes met, and for the first time, Amira saw real fear in his eyes. Andrew's face twisted in rage. "Going somewhere, my love?" His voice was calm, but his fists were clenched. Stephanie stepped forward, standing between them. "She's leaving, Andrew, and you won't stop her." For the first time, Andrew wasn't in control. He realized he was losing Amira, and there was nothing he could do. With one final glare, he spat. "You'll never find someone who loves you like I do." Amira wiped her tears and whispered, "That's the point." Amira stayed with Stephanie, slowly piecing herself back together. The nightmares were frequent, the fear still lingered. But for the first time in years, she felt safe. She started therapy, learning that love wasn't meant to hurt, that she wasn't to blame for what happened. She found her voice again, and with it, a newfound strength. Months passed, and Amira rebuilt her life. She got a job, joined a support group, and even started dating again cautiously, with lessons learned. She realized that love was supposed to be gentle, kind, and free of fear. One day, she received an invitation to an empowerment seminar for women who had survived abuse. She hesitated, then smiled. "Maybe my story can help someone else." Standing before hundreds of women, Amira took a deep breath and shared her story. Tears filled the eyes of many, but there was also admiration in them. She was no longer a victim, she was a survivor. As she stepped down from the stage, a woman approached her with trembling hands. "Because of you, I'm leaving him tonight." And just like that, Amira knew her pain hadn't been in vain. Stephanie organized a surprise party to celebrate Amira's new life. Surrounded by love, laughter, and true happiness, she realized she had been given a second chance. As the music played and the candles flickered, Amira made a silent vow to never let fear dictate her life again. One evening, Andrew called. His voice was broken, desperate. "I've changed. Amira, come back." But Amira didn't hesitate. "I forgive you, Andrew, but I will never return." As she ended the call, she smiled. She was finally free. After cutting ties with Andrew, Amira focused on building a new life. She got a small apartment, started a blog about surviving abusive relationships, and threw herself into her work. For the first time in years, she felt a sense of purpose. One evening, while browsing social media, she received a message from an anonymous woman. "Your story saved me. I left my abusive marriage today because of you." Amira wiped a tear from her eye. Her pain had given someone else the courage to break free. Despite her progress, the nightmares didn't stop. Some nights, she'd wake up in a cold sweat, Andrew's voice echoing in her head. She feared running into him in public, feared that he'd come back to drag her into the darkness. Stephanie encouraged her to get a restraining order. You need to protect yourself, Amira. He could still come after you. But Amira hesitated. Did she really want to fight this battle again? One afternoon, while grocery shopping, she froze. Standing at the end of the aisle was Andrew. He looked thinner, worn out, but his eyes still held that same dangerous glint. Amira ... He whispered, stepping closer. Her heart pounded. Would he lash out? Would he beg? She gripped her shopping basket tightly, her mind racing. But to her surprise, he just sighed and said, "You look happy. Happier without me." For the first time, Amira didn't feel feared, she felt pity. She looked him in the eye and simply said, "Yes, I am." Then, she walked past him, head held high. She didn't need to run anymore. She was free. That night, she celebrated with her friend Stephanie. "I saw him today, and I wasn't afraid," she said, smiling. And for the first time, she truly believed that Andrew had no power over her anymore. Months later, Amira met someone new, Mikkel. He was kind, patient, and nothing like Andrew. But love scared her now. She had built walls around her heart, and she wasn't sure if she could ever let anyone in again. Mikkel understood. "I won't rush you, Amira, take your time." His words were different, softer, healing. Could love really be this gentle? One evening, while having dinner with Mikkel, she accidentally spilled juice on his shirt. Her hands trembled as she whispered, "I'm sorry." She braced for the explosion for the slap. But Mikkel only laughed. "It's just juice, Amira." At that moment, she realized something she had been living in fear for too long. Love wasn't supposed to feel like walking on eggshells. Amira started therapy again, this time not just to survive, but to heal completely. She talked about her fears, her trauma, and the tiny moments that still haunted her. Her therapist encouraged her to take things slow. "You've been through hell, Amira. Healing isn't a race, it's a journey." To celebrate her progress, Stephanie convinced Amira to take a vacation. "Let's go somewhere fun. Somewhere we can just laugh." They booked a trip to ABIA white sand, clear waters, and the sound of waves replacing the ghosts of the past. For the first time in years, Amira laughed freely, danced under the moonlight, and remembered what happiness felt like. One evening, Mikkel took her out to dinner. As they walked by the beach, he held her hand and said, "I love you, Amira, and I want to love you for the rest of my life." Then, he knelt down and brought out a ring. Tears filled Amira's eyes. She wasn't afraid anymore. She had found love, real love. "Yes," she whispered, finally ready to embrace happiness again. Days before her wedding, Amira received a call from an unknown number. She hesitated before answering. "Amira, it's me ... Andrew." Her heart skipped a beat. "What do you want?" she asked, her voice steady. I heard you're getting married. I wanted to say I'm sorry. I hope he treats you better than I did." And for the first time, Andrew sounded ... human. The wedding was magical, nothing like her first one. This time, she wasn't wearing a mask. She wasn't hiding bruises beneath makeup. She wasn't afraid of the man standing beside her. As she walked down the aisle, she saw Stephanie smiling proudly. And she knew she had finally made it. She had survived. She and Mikkel built a home filled with warmth, not fear. They traveled, celebrated birthdays, and made memories she never thought she'd have. She became a speaker, helping women escape abusive relationships. Every time she stood on a stage, she would ask, "If you were the one in his shoes, what would you do?" And every time, someone in the crowd found the courage to leave. She had turned her pain into purpose. She had rewritten her story. Mikkel surprised her with a honeymoon trip to Kano. As they walked through the ancient streets of Dubai Aero, Amira felt like she was in a dream, one where love wasn't painful and happiness wasn't temporary. One evening, while watching the sunset over the raging sea, Mikkel held her close and whispered, "I'll spend my whole life making sure you never have to be afraid again." And for the first time, Amira truly believed she was safe. Despite the love surrounding her, Amira couldn't shake a new fear. What if she became like Andrew? What if she unknowingly hurt Mikkel the way she had been hurt? One night, she had a nightmare where she was the abuser, shouting, slapping, controlling. She woke up in tears. Mikkel held her as she trembled. "You're not him, Amira. You'll never be." Mikkel wanted children, and though Amira loved the idea of being a mother, The trauma of losing her first baby haunted her. What if I can't have children? What if something goes wrong again? She asked. Mikkel kissed her forehead. Then we'll face it together, no matter what. His words were a balm to her wounded soul. Months later, Amira discovered she was pregnant. At first, fear gripped her. She wasn't sure if she could handle it. But when she saw Mikkel's joy, something inside her softened. Maybe this time would be different. She placed a hand on her stomach and whispered, "You are safe, little one. I promise." One afternoon, while resting at home, there was a knock at the door. When she opened it, she froze. Standing there, looking weak and broken, was Andrew. "Please, I just need to talk." His voice was barely a whisper. Mikkel insisted on staying, but Amira told him she needed to face Andrew alone. She listened as Andrew confessed how his own father had been abusive, how he had never learned how to love properly. "I don't expect forgiveness, but I needed to tell you I regret everything." Tears welled up in his eyes. Amira sighed, feeling nothing but pity. "I forgive you, Andrew, but forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting." After Andrew's visit, Amira struggled with anxiety. Memories she thought she had buried resurfaced. She feared something would go wrong with the pregnancy. Mikkel noticed her stress and planned a weekend getaway. "Let's take a break from everything." They traveled to a quiet cabin by the lake, where she finally let go of her fears and embraced the joy of the moment. When she finally gave birth to a baby girl, she cried tears of joy, holding her daughter for the first time. She whispered, "You will never know pain like I did." Stephanie arrived with balloons and laughter, declaring herself the baby's unofficial godmother. Life had given Amira a second chance, and she wasn't going to waste it. Amira's mother visited and held her granddaughter with pride. But then she took Amira's hand and said, "No matter how happy you are now, never forget where you came from. Teach your daughter what real love is, so she never makes the mistakes we did." Amira nodded. "She will grow up strong, Mama, just like I did." One day, Amira received a letter. It was from Andrew's sister. "Andrew is in rehab. He's trying to change." Amira sighed. She hoped he found peace, but she was no longer part of his story. She burned the letter, not out of hatred, but as a symbol of moving on. While scrolling through her old social media posts, she accidentally came across a picture from her wedding with Andrew. For a moment, she felt a familiar pang of sadness. But then she closed the page and smiled. That chapter is over. For their 5th anniversary, Mikkel took Amira to the same beach where he had proposed. As they walked along the shore, he handed her a small box. Inside was a key. "What's this?" she asked. "Our new home," he said, grinning. "I want to build a future with you, one with no shadows, only light." Amira wrote a book about her journey. It became a bestseller, inspiring women all over the world. During one book signing, a woman hugged her and whispered, "You saved my life." At that moment, Amira knew her pain had found its purpose. During a women's conference, Amira saw a familiar figure in the crowd, Andrew's sister. When their eyes met, the woman simply nodded. No words were needed. The past was in the past. One evening, Mikkel asked, "Do you ever wish you could go back and get revenge on Andrew?" Amira smiled. The best revenge isn't pain, it's happiness. And she had one. As her daughter grew older, Amira taught her to be strong, to recognize love that nurtures instead of destroys. One day, her daughter asked, "Mama, what made you so strong?" Amira kissed her forehead and said, "Because I chose to be." Years later, Amira heard of Andrew's passing. She felt a strange mix of emotions, pity, sadness, but also peace. At his grave, she whispered, "I hope you finally found the peace you couldn't find in life." Then, she walked away, leaving the past behind forever. On her 60th birthday, surrounded by family, friends, and loved ones, Amira looked around at the beautiful life she had built. She stood up, raised a glass, and with a knowing smile, asked, "If you were the one in his shoes, what would you do?" And everyone laughed boisterously. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment. God bless you.
A hip-hop song from African folktale and tutorial channel, CEFDOMAI. listen up, gather round. I got a tale to tell, a story profound. From Africa's roots where the wisdom's found, CEFDOMAI's the channel that's turning it around. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and turn on the notification bell. Show some love. CEFDOMAI's got the knowledge from above. Folk tales and tutorials to elevate your mind. Subscribe, like, share, comment, turn on the notification bell and let the wisdom shine. From general folk tales to StoryTime, we're sharing the stories that'll ignite your passion for learning, your curiosity too. CEFDOMAI's the hub where the knowledge is true. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and turn on the notification bell. Show some love. CEFDOMAI's got the knowledge from above. Folk tales and tutorials to elevate your mind. Subscribe, like, share, comment. That subscribe button. Like and share, let the world know what's cooking. CEFDOMAI's on the rise with the wisdom of the land. Join the movement, take a stand. Subscribe, like, share, show some love. CEFDOMAI's got the knowledge from above. Folk tales and tutorials. CEFDOMAI, where the wisdom flows. Subscribe, like, share, and let the knowledge grow. A hip-hop song from African folktale and tutorial channel CEFDOMAI. Yo, listen up, gather round. I got a tale to tell, a story profound. From Africa's roots where the wisdom's found, CEFDOMAI's the channel that's turning it around. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and turn on the notification bell. Show some love. CEFDOMAI's got the knowledge from above. Folk tales and tutorials to elevate your mind. Subscribe, like, share, comment, turn on the notification bell and let the wisdom shine. From general folk tales to StoryTime, we're sharing the stories that'll ignite your passion for learning, your curiosity too. CEFDOMAI's the hub where the knowledge is true. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and turn on the notification bell. Show some love. CEFDOMAI's got the knowledge from above. Folk tales and tutorials to elevate your mind. Subscribe, like, share, comment. That subscribe button. Like and share, let the world know what's cooking. CEFDOMAI's on the rise with the wisdom of the land. Join the movement, take a stand. Subscribe, like, share, show some love. CEFDOMAI's got the knowledge from above. Folk tales and tutorials. CEFDOMAI, where the wisdom flows. Subscribe, like, share, and let the knowledge grow. A hip-hop song from African folktale and tutorial channel CEFDOMAI. Yo, listen up, gather round. I got a tale to tell, a story profound. From Africa's roots where the wisdom's found, CEFDOMAI's the channel that's turning it around. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and turn on the notification bell. Show some love. CEFDOMAI's got the knowledge from above. Folk tales and tutorials to elevate your mind. Subscribe, like, share, comment, turn on the notification bell and let the wisdom shine. tales to StoryTime. We're sharing the stories that'll ignite your passion for learning, your curiosity too. CEFDOMAI is the hub where the knowledge is true. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and turn on the notification bell. Show some love. CEFDOMAI's got the knowledge from above. Folk tales and tutorials to elevate your mind. Subscribe, like, share, comment. That subscribe button. Like and share, let the world know what's cooking. CEFDOMAI's on the rise with the wisdom of the land. Join the movement, take a stand. Subscribe, like, share.